Hi, welcome to How I Made the Gravity Falls theme song with Braaaaaad Breeeeck. I am Braaaaaad Breeeeck, and I was the composer for Gravity Falls, and I wrote the theme song. In this video, I'll walk you through all of the sounds that I used to make the theme song. I'll show you what software and plugins I use, how I mixed it, and all that fun stuff. If you have any questions about things I didn't cover in this video or forgot, please comment below and I'll do my best to answer in the comments or follow up with additional videos. I hope you find this interesting and helpful. Thank you for watching. Okay, so I'm going to go through my ProTools session track by track and show you what I did. The drums, which is where I think I started. Actually, I think I started with the claps. And here's what those sound like. So this is just me in a little bedroom, basically, clapping. And this is actually multiple passes of me. I bounced it down at some point, and I don't have the originals in this session. But it's just me clapping. I'm sending to a little bit of reverb here. So that's with the reverb off. But it's just several tracks of me clapping layered together. I'll show you what that reverb looks like. It is this short vocal plate in true verb. Next are these stomps. So this is me stomping in a room. You can hear a tambourine in there because I had a tambourine in the room and it picked that up. That's what that sounds like. And it's not, this was just a mic that I had set up, I think, for the drum kit, which you'll hear in a second. And so I didn't even put the mic in a special place. I had a mic set up, I pressed record and started stomping. You can barely hear that in the final thing, but it gives it a little vibe or whatever. And then shaker. Again, this is just a shaker, me in front of a microphone. A very fast one. I'm just rolling off a bunch of stuff to clean it up. Tambourine. It's your classic tambourine. Roll off some lows. You don't need that stuff. Okay, and then this, all right, so I'm sorry I don't have all the drum tracks in this session because there was an older session and this is a really old track. I can't find all those individual tracks, but you'll get the idea. So, and I had very minimal miking. It was probably just a couple mics. This is a really crappy drum kit in a tiny bedroom with a couple mics. I didn't have like nice preamps or anything at the time. So this is the kind of thing anyone could record in the bedroom. So it's like fast disco hi-hats, kick and snare. Basic, That's what that is. Those are the Gravity Falls drums. Another tambourine track doing backbeats with some Altiverb on there, roll off that stuff, and also sending to this reverb, this group reverb I had. I use this thing a lot, this cello chamber. This is snare. So this is the same drum setup, just the snare. I probably just played the snare by itself to get a sample and printed that. And then this kick is the same thing, just recorded a kick. I probably like submixed all of those to one track to just have a nice kick track. And then crash. Same kit. Here's a reverse crash. Gotta have a reverse crash. Can't live without a reverse crash. A clack. I don't remember what this is. Okay. Same deal. This is just I had the whole drum kit mic'd up, played that clack thing, and then bounced it down to the two tracks just to clean up the session. And same thing with the toms. And it looks like I chopped that up. There might have been one sample. I don't remember though. There's some reverse toms in here too. Reverse tom. Do it. And then, so this is another. So sometimes when I'm doing this stuff, you know, you do stuff that doesn't really make sense. Like you already have a bounce drum kit in here. Why do you need another one? Because the first one wasn't enough. So this is just me playing the kick, snare to add some more beef, I guess. And then this is the same hi-hat part from this drum bounce up here. And I think I just wanted more articulation or something. Drum intro bounce. Fill. Okay, that's the drums. Next up, let's check out the beatboxing, because that's part of the drums, kinda. So this, again, is just me beatboxing into a microphone in a crappy little room. It's got a little reverb and a little EQ. Here you go. So it's just that looped. It's just like I took the one good bar and looped it over and over again. And this is maybe the most embarrassing layer in this thing. It's me doing what you hear. And there's one on the left, one take on the left, one take on the right. So that just creates a little more, enhancing the backbeat and creating another more of that eighth note pattern. Okay, whistling. So there's a lot of auto-tune on the whistling because I need help with my whistling. It's me whistling in front of a microphone. Let's see what we got. Compression, auto-tune. I usually use this Auto-Tune EFX one because there's no latency and just easier for me. Rolling off a lot because I just want to hear the clear whistling. Here's what the whistling sounds like. And then you can see I have 3 layers of that. It's all the same part, just stacked up to, you know, make it sound bigger and more exciting. There you go. I'll turn off all the plugins. Just a little cleaner, more in tune and flat dynamically with all the plugins on it. You can hear it. It's really, even with the auto-tune, it's like not doing the right melody in some parts. But when you layer all this stuff together, you get the idea. Like there's some wrong notes right there. You know, whistling. All right, so now we're moving on to guitars. As you'll hear, there are a bunch of very poorly played acoustic and electric guitars in this song. First, we have an acoustic guitar part. Let's hear this. So that's our arpeggio part. You can see that it's chopped up into 4 parts because I couldn't play the whole thing well in one go. So I played each chord and then cut them together. You do what you gotta do. We got some compression, some EQ, and sending to that same reverb. Okay, here's another horribly played acoustic guitar part, which sounds like crap by itself. Some compression, more EQ. So on its own, it sounds terrible. It was recorded poorly, played poorly, mic'd poorly. You can hear some like wrong notes I was hitting and stuff, but in the track, it brings the energy it needs to, I think. This, I believe, is the theme melody. And we have 2 of these panned left and right. So some compression, EQ, and this is sending to our reverb again. And then another acoustic guitar. Let's hear this. Continuing the main theme. Same plugins. So you see how cut up it is. That's because I am learning it as I'm playing, as I'm writing it and playing it. I'm not a good guitar player at all, as you can hear. So I have to play it several times and chop something usable together. And here's a reverse acoustic guitar. Again, like, you can't go wrong with the reverse acoustic guitar. Let's see what this is. So this is some electric guitar, I believe. So this is a DI guitar, which almost all my guitars are DI because I'm too lazy to mic up an amp. That's what it sounds like without the amp, or the Waves amp. Got this Chris Lord Algae guitar plugin, which is super useful, sending to some reverb and stuff. And then here's a distorted guitar part. Let's see what this is. Again, it's the DI guitar. It sounds pretty terrible. And it's going through this Waves amp. And then here's another acoustic guitar hiding down here. So there's some chicks for rhythm at the beginning. All right, then here's the bass guitar. And this, I'm pretty sure was just DI'd because I never had a bass amp. It sounds a little more processed than being a straight DI, but maybe I printed it, but it doesn't look like it. There's a click in there that I didn't remove. I don't know why I didn't bother removing that. You know, we don't hear it in the final, obviously. At least I don't. Not well played. Bad rhythm. Go back to music school. Okay, so next we have synths. This first synth part is from a different version of the Gravity Falls theme song. One that wasn't chosen. I did several versions of this before we landed on the final one. I think, because I can't find the original session, this was my Roland Jupiter 6 synth. But this was, again, a bounced part that I kind of sampled into this session and then chopped it up. And this is just the intro. It's reversed. It sounds like this. And this is what it sounded like forward. So you can hear kind of its similarity to the arpeggios that are happening in the final Gravity Falls theme. And here's the end. Here's where it comes back in the end. So that part you'll recognize, I'm sure. It's kind of one of the trademarks of the theme. So this is something that I'll do a lot if I get stuck creatively, is I'll either bounce what I'm working on, or I'll make some stuff that's in the same key or has the same key chord progression as what I'm working on, and then chop it up and reverse it. And sometimes chop that up again, and you'll often find interesting things that you wouldn't have come up with by just playing an instrument or, you know, playing MIDI or something. Okay, the next track is just layered BNC. So again, this is a bounce from something, and that's just another, that sting again. And so I'm sending this to some reverb. That's that same reverb at the bottom, the cello chamber. And then this one labeled audio. Let's see what this was. So that's another bounce. So that had some glockenspiel and some synthesizer in there. I think I just bounced a bunch of stuff, and then I put verify on that. That's this effect that's built into ProTools that is like a record slowdown effect. So you can slow it down or speed it up. And I use this all the time for like transitions. I might print something or bounce something and then reverse it and speed it up, or ending things. Like, it's just kind of a little, it's like polish. It's just like ear catching and fun. It's a pretty common thing to do in like pop music and stuff. Okay, moving on to the next set of synths. So these are a bunch of little Kontakt libraries. These are from a library called, some of these, like, so this first one, Karlslaw, is from a library called Precisionsound Keys. It's a company called Precisionsound. And these are just, I think this is from an Ace organ. It's an old kind of like granny organ, I think. But this library is pretty cheap, I think. It has some really cool sounds in it. So those arpeggios in the theme are, as you'll see here, you can see all these tracks. It's a combination of a bunch of stuff that I layered. So now it's playing the theme, obviously. And then, so this is labeled Juno 6. This is from Audio Long Bruno 6. This is like a sampled Juno 6. And then this one is Clavitron Perk. I think this is, I'm pretty sure this is from that same Precisionsound library. So that's playing the theme. And then this KPA piano is from the Precisionsound, I believe, as well. So you can hear how these kind of stack up. So yeah, let's keep going sound by sound so you can hear everything. So this is a sample of an omnichord, and this is by Soniccouture. Omnichord is a very cool instrument.
So let the midnight special shine its light on me. Let the midnight special shine its ever-loving light on me. Woke up this morning.
And this is a sampled version of it. Oh, so here's the glockenspiel. This glockenspiel is, this is from the London Symphonic Orchestra percussion library. It's an older percussion library. So this is something, layering glockenspiel with like synths for melodies is something I feel like I do a lot. It sounds pretty to me. This is the Roland Jupiter 6. This is a pretty, straightforward arpeggio part. So it's just low, high passed. And it's going to that reverb. So I probably was sending this MIDI to the synth, and then, for each of those little parts is slightly different, and I would have altered the settings a little bit. Okay, and then next we have some piano, which is super low in the mix. You don't hear it that much in the final version. And originally this is a library called Ivory, which I don't have installed anymore. So I'm using Keyscape, which I use a lot these days. And then Velvet, it's an electric piano plugin made by Avid, which I don't have installed anymore either. And I usually use Keyscape for that these days, but it's basically the same sound. And so I have some Echo Boy on there, which is just a great delay. And then some Decapitator to dirty it up. And then that's going to some reverb. And then, so this is an instance of Massive, just a really simple synth sound. And again, it's just like layering. A lot of times what happens with me is I'll come up with a part like that, and I'll be like, this is a good part. And I'll play it on one instrument, and then I'll be like, I like this part, but it's not quite right yet. So I'll add another part, and I'll just keep layering it until it sounds full enough and correct enough to me, which is not always the best way to go. Like, I think a lot of people would advise you it's probably smarter to have one good sound rather than layering a bunch of sounds and things get mushy. But in this case, I guess it worked. So again, we have some Echo Boy, Decapitator, and sending to a reverb. So those are all the synths and keyboards in the Gravity Falls theme song. So there you go. That's all the stuff I used to make the Gravity Falls theme song. I hope I covered everything. I probably missed some stuff. If you're a new composer starting out, I think a lesson to take away from this video is that things don't need to be perfect. The important thing is your ideas and how everything adds up to a big picture. Sometimes things can be rough, and that can work fine. You heard how a lot of the parts in the Gravity Falls theme song weren't that spectacular, and some of them were downright terrible sounding, they add up to something pretty cool. So it's all about the big picture and how things fit together. I hope this has been helpful. Again, if you have any questions or comments, please post them below and I'll do my best to follow up with answers or maybe more videos. This has been Braaaaaad Breeeck for Braaaaaad Breeeck on the Braaaaaad Breeeck channel by Braaaaaad Breeeck. My name is Braaaaaad Breeeck. Thanks for watching. Bye!